5 haunted museums you should never visit. Museums are visited by thousands of curious individuals who appreciate their collection of age-old, well-preserved artifacts. But in these 5 museums, ghostly presence have become their permanent visitors, who are perhaps guarding their celebrated work or making their presence felt in the place they once called home. Dare to visit these museums, or we suggest don't. Number 5. Fremantle Arts Centre. The Fremantle Arts Centre sits on an historic building complex on Ord Street, Fremantle, Western Australia, and in 1864, it was used as an asylum for the criminally insane. When a certain Mrs. Clifford was violently murdered by an inmate in 1900, the asylum was shut down. No wonder then that ghost stories thrive here, making it one of the most haunted places in Western Australia. As the Fremantle Arts Centre since 1973, exhibitions, events, and outdoor concerts have been held, and visitors have shared their hair-raising experiences, which go beyond the normal. Some felt cold touches, others got kissed by phantom lips, unexplained cold spots, voluntary opening and closing of doors, crying and yelling are constant paranormal happenings. The asylum's female patient in the past committed suicide when her daughter was kidnapped, and her spirit appears around the building as if looking for her girl. A paranormal expert also came across a very tough and hardened spirit of a man lurking in the museum for more than a century. Even the strong-hearted may crumble at their sights. Number 4. The Cleveland Museum of Art. Ohio's 106-year-old Cleveland Museum of Art is touted as one of the most actively haunted museums in America. Its interim director affirms that many ghosts of the museum are still here telling their stories, and every now and then they let us know they're here. The museum has at least one resident ghost, William Milliken, who was director from 1930 to 1958. He has been spotted wandering the museum's 1916 building in his signature tweed jacket holding a folder. A boy is sometimes seen running dressed in the same clothing as the one in a painting. The subject of an oil painting called Portrait of Jean-Gabriel de Thiel at the signing of the Treaty of Vienna has also been sighted observing his own likeness. Most astonishing was a picture of Claude Monet, forefather of French Impressionism, looking down from a balcony that was caught in October 2015. While the staff was finishing the new installation, painting the modern garden, Monet to Matisse. Was it just a stunt to capture the interest of the public, or was it actually Monet himself? Number 3. Penang War Museum. The Penang War Museum in Malaysia is listed by National Geographic as one of the most haunted sites in Asia, and it's awfully truthful. Southeast Asia's largest war museum was originally a British fort built in the 1930s. It sits atop the Bukit Batu Mang and fell to a Japanese offensive during World War II and eventually occupied it, where prisoners of war were tortured and beheaded. Thus, the locals call it Ghost Hill, although it has been restored and open to the public as Malaysia's dark tourism attraction since 2002. The hauntings of Penang War Museum's bloody dark past still linger. One known ghost sighting is that of a long-dead Japanese executioner in one of the tunnels at the 20-acre museum complex. The infamous executioner named Suzuki beheaded the captives without blindfolds. Locals have also reported seeing the spirits of those who were mercilessly tortured. An American paranormal expert who dared to investigate the place heard a male voice utter "help" when the spirit quester asked what he should do. A small girl's voice responded, "To die." This one screams, "Shooked!" Number 2. Torquay Museum. For museum lovers, the Torquay Museum in Devon, England is a shoo-in in their list of must-visit. Built in 1874, it has around 350,000 historically rich artifacts, a gallery devoted to renowned author Agatha Christie, and another to Egyptology. A mummy of a 4-year-old boy who died 2,500 years ago is one of the main attractions at Torquay Museum. But there are more interesting things about it that have given the museum's staff and visitors an out-of-this-world experience. These paranormal activities witnessed by people and caught on cam have received extensive media coverage. An apparition of a Victorian lady in a blue dress in the museum's library, books and leaflets flying off the museum shop shelves, fingerprints appearing inside a mummy case that has remained closed for 9 years, and footsteps and doors banging in unoccupied storage rooms. Ghost-like figures captured inside photos inside the museum have also been reported. More recently, in 2015 at the Devon Farmhouse Gallery, an eerie snapshot from the supposedly empty room showed a woman dressed in antique clothing emerging from the floor. Number 1. The Kremlin Museums. Most of Russia's rich history is reflected in the Moscow Kremlin Museums, which is now a major state-run museum. Naturally, the country's antiquity lends itself to paranormal tales, which notoriously occurred within the premises of the Kremlin Museum's 8 parts, most of which are centuries old, such as the 3 cathedrals, 2 churches, and the Ivan the Great bell tower. Allegedly, many of these spooky tales involved Russia's former dead rulers. One was Ivan Grozny, aka Ivan the Terrible, Russia's overachieving ruler for 51 years, whose terrifying shadow has been seen walking the Ivan the Great bell tower. Tsar Dmitry Pretender was said to appear in Kremlin's walls, gesticulating and giving signs to people, particularly in his last appearance in 1991. Vladimir Lenin, who led the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution, was also Kremlin's frequent visitor, first seen in October 1923 while bedridden 3 months before he died. When a room suddenly gets cold, it's said that Joseph Stalin's ghost is around and he wants to establish order, especially when Russia is in deep crisis. Will you be honored to meet their ghosts? Thanks for watching. Please like and share this video with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for your daily dose of voodoo videos.